Namaskar. Let me welcome you all to today's episode of Sitar Learning Essentials. Those who are following our channel, you must be knowing that we are discussing on various aspects of playing sitar, different basic concepts, and now we are discussing about various types of embellishments or ornamentations that we use in sitar playing. We started with Karnswar and Khatka, then Murki, etc. Now we are going to discuss about GHASIT, what GHASIT is, and also few practical implementations of GHASIT, how we use GHASIT in various stages of performance, and different alankars that we build with the technique called GHASIT. GHASIT is essentially an instrumental technique. To be very specific, it is a technique of sitar. Basically, an instrument, this is a technique of an instrument with frets. For the fretless instrument, it cannot be called GHASIT, because GHASIT is something like when we have friction of our finger which glides over the frets. It is not pulling the meat. It is about gliding our finger across fret, and while we glide that, the finger should touch all the frets in between. There can be different types of GHASITs. There can be forward going GHASITs, reverse going GHASIT, GHASIT between consecutive notes, GHASIT between distant notes. And this is a technique that does not come of its own. We need to do some practice. We will try to cover what are the things that we need to practice also. The demonstration, if we do GHASIT between dha to sa, so here my finger slides between dha and sa and touches all the frets in between, but the prominence of the notes is for the source note or home note at the destination note. So it started from dha and ends at sa, so definitely the resonance in sa will be there, and dha is also audible, but the notes in between, the frets, you can see the Komali frets is there, Shuddhani fret is there, but the sound individually does not come. Even though I am gliding through it, we should not stay on that. Okay? So that is the GHASIT technique. Now if I do from pa to sa, pa to re, this is a very prominent and highly used phrase in rag Jayajavanti, because from pa to re, from lower octave pa to middle octave re, it is very difficult to reach through mean. So while we play Jayajavanti rag, so we use GHASIT and mean, or sometimes GHASIT. Okay, so this is one practical implementation that I have shown you in Alap. Then we will show in Rag Yaman. So what we are doing, what we could do, we could achieve through mean also, but we use various ornamentation technique just to break the monotony of using the same alankar, same type of alankar, or same way of doing. Every time we mostly use mean, but sometimes we use GHASIT also to have the tonal variance, some variation from different alankar, to make it more enriched, right? is pressed. See, this is knee to pa I am doing ghasit, and the reverse. So we are trying to achieve current using ghasit. So raining. So this is reverse ghasit. Means ghasit in the arohi avrohi ang, right? So from ga to re. Also rega. Rima. Reba. So usage of ghasit in within alap. So using means okay. So this can be used in jod also. One example. We are using gazit, meend, kirtan, all these things to achieve a beautiful musical phrase. Sometimes you are seeing we are using half ghasit and half meend. So we have to reach from ma to tasaptak ma, tivra ma, middle octave tivra ma to higher octave tivra ma. So ma to re we are using ghasit, and from re we are using meend. So these are various advanced techniques that sitar players use during the performance. And during sanchari movement also, within alap there are different parts. So within the sanchar or sanchari movement, ghasit is used vastly when musicians glide from one note to the same note across octave. For an example, in jod I have demonstrated ma to ma, then pa to pa, then knee to knee. Like this. Now, particularly, I have seen in many records of Ustad Vilayat Khan and also Ustad Rais Khan, I can clearly remember, there are certain tan patterns also where these great musicians have used ghasit. How? played in different ragas, but as my first setup is in Yaman, I am just demonstrating in Yaman, and most of the music students can relate with Rag Yaman. That's why probably you might see most of the sitar tutorials, everyone chooses Rag Yaman because students can relate it more. So you have seen how gazit is being used in different chut tans, as we call chut tans. We also had another episode on chut, that means the cross octave jumps. If you have not watch that. Your concept about chut will get clear. Okay. So these are the various ways how we use gazit in our performance. I'm thinking if we can demonstrate on some jhala. Okay. So in jhala, in ulta jhala, jod jhala. Consecutive notes you can use 2 fingers, you can use purse, but if it is distant note you cannot stretch fingers beyond a limit. So if it is dhatu day, if you have to build this kind of alankar, so you have to have gazit. Now, what are the different types of practice that one needs to do to have good grasp on gazit? Let's discuss. This is something you can take a pattern in a rag and you can practice this in consecutive note and maybe 1 skip note, 2 skip notes based on your level of playing. You can decide. Once you just the similar advice that I give for me, for try between 2 consecutive notes, then just 1 skip note, then 2 skip note. Accordingly you increase the range of your practice. And also you can try forward going and reverse going. Also you can try playing in the odd ragas like Bhupali or Kalavati, then or Hamsudhani, Durga, Megh, Malkons, Dhani. In these ragas, you can try playing this gazit. Then covering the distant notes will be easier. For an example, I will show you Bhupali. with this note, let us conclude today's episode. I hope you might have got a good idea on what gazit is, what are the practical implementations of gazit in a sitar performance, and how to practice gazit. If you have any questions or any doubt, don't hesitate to drop an email to us. The email address is given in the video description, and also you can share your comment in the comment box of this video. And those who have not subscribed to our channel, please do that and click on the bell icon to get this kind of interesting and informative videos on sitar playing in particular and Indian classical music in general. Thank you so much. Namaskar.